What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be talking about why the stock market blasted up today and the important things you need to know. We're going to be covering Apple, GameStop, what's happening with energy around the world, and other important things you need to know. Tom, we have to take a look at the heat map from today. A bunch of stocks, as we can see, were very green. Amazon was up almost 3%. Microsoft, Google, Apple, Tesla, they all boomed up, and it was a pretty good day.
Yeah, it really was. It was awesome to finally see some green coming back in, Mike. I know yesterday the market was slightly red and was holding down around that 390 support on the SPY. So it was really good to see a nice bounce up off of that big support on SPY and to see a lot of these big stocks popping up. It was cool to see Tesla up 3%. And like you said, just a lot of these bigger tech plays were moving up in a big way. But I did kind of want to talk about, Mike, one of the biggest sectors lately has been the clean energy sector. And look at ENPH today. Another huge move up, 8%. And it just keeps breaking out. We go look at like the daily chart. Look at ENPH, new highs up here around 316 with this recent breakout today. So definitely keep these clean energy plays on the radar, guys. There has been a lot of big news affecting these companies lately, from energy crisis over in Europe. And then obviously we've had some issues in with California here going on, where they're telling people not to charge cars, where the power grid's having some issues. And then there's even some funding from the Inflation Reduction Act. Looks like $370 billion was allocated to climate and clean energy investments. So that is huge, also helping push these stocks even higher. But it's not just ENPH, Mike. We're seeing FSLR pop off. Tesla was up today a lot. I'm not saying Tesla's necessarily affected as much by this as ENPH or FSLR, but in general, all these clean energy plays have been popping up. Even like Rivian and Lucid started having some volatile moves over the past couple days. So just keep these clean energy plays on the radar. It's amazing to see them running, and ENPH is probably my favorite one to watch.
There we go. So yeah, ENPH is a solar company. Just like Tom said, he covered it pretty well, and it's booming for multiple reasons, and there's a lot of momentum with these solar stocks right now. So definitely keep them on your watch list, because if we're being realistic, not too many stocks are breaking past their all-time high, but the solar stocks, at least a lot of them, either are breaking their all-time high or have a lot of momentum.
Yeah, they really do. Like, look at FSLR here. Let's go look at that daily chart. It's not at an all-time high, but you can see it's at a recent high since 2012, breaking out to 134.80. Looking at some other stocks across the board, I know you can see like ChargePoint, First Solar, lots of stocks like that are starting to really move. ChargePoint is one of the other big ones that had a big move today, Mike, up 9% today on the watch list. I know it's not breaking out to new highs like FSLR or ENPH, but still, that is a huge run out of a clean energy play like ChargePoint. We're also seeing Run move up. Run is running, Mike. They're trying to break recent highs at this resistance of $38. Like I said, not as good as ENPH or FSLR on the chart, but still has a lot of momentum. And if these keep popping up, I'm sure that Run and ChargePoint will follow along with these bigger stocks. But it's an amazing sector, Mike, that's been going up nonstop over the past couple months. I know that Inflation Reduction Act played a big role with all that funding, but I even feel like a lot of this news with California and the energy crisis in Europe is playing a big role too, because like, look at this. California asked people not to charge their cars, even though they were the first state to make electric cars mandatory. So it's kind of like a bit of a funny meme going on with California with it all, but nonetheless, it's really affecting these stocks.
All right, there we go. So Tom, Apple had a decent event today, and they actually did not raise prices, believe it or not. So what's the news with Apple?
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Apple stock closed up green. It kept popping up all towards the end of day, and we ended up in the green, like I said, which was great. And yeah, they had that big event. They announced the new iPhone 14. Now, guys, I will say they announced the 14, the 14 Plus, the 14 Pro, and the 14 Pro Max. And what I will say is it's pretty much the same thing as the iPhone 13. They did have some minute changes. They did have a new chip they put in. They also have different camera specifications for it. Right here is the real list of all the differences right here. You can see better low light photography, redesigned flash, and stuff like that. But the cool thing that I saw that really caught my eye is that they're actually adding a satellite emergency service feature to the new iPhones. And they're actually partnering with Global Star, or ticker GSAT, to try to, I guess, use some of their satellites for some of this emergency service. And it's going to be a big deal, I think, for iPhone users. Obviously, it's going to help you connect to obviously send emergency calls and stuff in areas where you don't get any reception, like out in the hills, for example, and stuff like that, like when you travel. So sounds pretty good for iPhone users, Mike. And honestly, Global Star has a pretty good stock, ticker GSAT. I was really surprised to see them have that huge move intraday. That was a huge pop, at least for a minute there.
Yep. So essentially, Apple announced that they're dedicating $450 million to this satellite infrastructure, and GSAT, or Global Star, will receive most of that funding. So that's awesome. It's always nice to see, especially these smaller companies partnering with a behemoth like Apple, and that's partly why, and that's actually the main reason we saw GSAT be so volatile today. It was all over the place, and Tom, I'm kind of surprised it didn't rocket up more, though, to be honest. Like, yeah, it opened around $2.10 and went as low as like $1.65, and then as high as like $2.90 or $2.95, something like that, and now it's back to like 210.
Yeah, it really is. I could not believe it fell back down and then closed red after all that movement. Like, just how crazy can these stocks get sometimes? I will say, though, GSAT, Mike, is kind of a penny stock. It's sitting, like we said, right around $2.10. So it's going to be a volatile one. Maybe it can start to pop back up more tomorrow morning, but we'll have to see what happens with it. Like we said, extremely volatile. It was crazy to see it jump up like that, then fall back off. And honestly, Apple didn't have too huge of a move up either. Looks like Apple just kind of followed the SPY up. The SPY honestly seemed like it moved up better than Apple. It closed up 1.8%. Apple closed green only 0.93%. So I thought that was kind of interesting too.
True. All right, Tom, we also have to cover GameStop earnings. GameStop has been all over the place, and it is rocketing up in after hours. It closed around I guess you could say $24 today. Now they're all the way up to $26.40 in after hours. For earnings, they did report a wider loss, and their sales are declining, which is not good. But the good news that came out of it is that they are actually having a partnership with FTX, which is like a powerhouse crypto exchange.
Yeah, it really is. I think that's an awesome partnership for GameStop that they're partnering with FTX. Like you said, it is a powerhouse crypto exchange. I've been seeing FTX all over the place. They sponsor all types of things like Major League Baseball, hockey. I'm sure they're into football and stuff too. I see them all over. So definitely a huge company, Mike, and it is definitely helping GameStop here in after hours. It's up quite a bit, like you said, up to 26.35 right now and starting to consolidate a little bit. I'm curious to see where GameStop ends up, because looking at their daily chart, Mike, GameStop has been seriously falling down lately, back towards that big support of around $20. So I'm curious to see if we'll start to move back up now or not. But this does seem like pretty promising news for GameStop. And, I know that they reported a loss and their revenue probably didn't come in the best, but still, this seems like good news. I will say, though, their loss of $108.7 million on CNBC, it says it's not comparable to estimates because too few analysts cover the company. So that is unfortunate with the earnings in that sense. But hey, I think the FTX news blows everything away today.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tom, do you have any other big news to know about or important events?
I figured I'd mention one more thing here. We have BBBY. That stock started really popping back up today. I know there's been a lot of crazy news going on. There was an unfortunate death with the CFO of the company. My thoughts go out to his family, but I figured I'd mention this one, Mike. It's kind of popping up here today. It got some momentum back to the upside. It looks like it's trying to fill that gap from that move down. So I'll definitely be watching this company for tomorrow too. And then we also can't forget Powell, Mike. He's going to be speaking tomorrow morning at 9:10 a.m. Eastern time. It's not going to be the largest event of the market. I don't think he'll necessarily even move the market too much tomorrow, but definitely be on the lookout 20 minutes before open. It will probably be a pretty hyped up event.
All right, there we go. Well, Tom, it is now time for the momentum plays. With the first one, we have Netflix to the upside.
Netflix, yeah, go ahead and make them break above $230 even here. They close right around 229.
All right, with the next one, we have Square, also to the upside.
Square, nice. Yeah, nice even level here on Square, right at $68.
And with the last one, we have Shopify, also to the upside.
Shopify, nice, an e-commerce website. Go ahead and make them break above 31.10.
All right, so we're watching Shopify, Square, and Netflix for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But if you guys are looking for daily options trades, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot had an amazing call out with GLD today, called out the 159 strike calls at $100 each, and it popped all the way up to $152 each within just a couple hours. Not every single play works. No software, no program, no strategy wins 100% of the time, but the bot does a dang good job, and it calls out an options alert for a day trade every single day. If you do decide to try it out, you'll also get access to swing plays. You can chat with Tom and myself and a bunch of other great people within our private community. You can cancel at any time, and we have a coupon running, which is coupon code 2022. Definitely check it out. It's worth trying out at least for 1 month, especially if you trade short term. Besides that, Tom, do you have any favorite setups heading into tomorrow?
You know, I will say I was very happy today to see the market start to pop back up a little bit. I thought it was awesome to see SPY holding on that 390 support. I know yesterday we got down to 388.40 or somewhere really close to that at the low of on the SPY. So just be on the lookout for SPY here. I think that now that we're bouncing off support and we bounced off of it 3 or 4 times down here, I think we might start to see some green start to creep back into the market. Today was pretty promising. We saw a lot of big stocks moving back up like Netflix, Apple, Microsoft, stocks like that were seriously recovering. Even some of these reopening plays like cruise lines, CCL was up quite a bit. AAL was moving. We're seeing a lot of big moves back to the upside, at least right now. So at least in the short term, guys, watch for that market to pop back. I know, Mike, a lot of people are still thinking that we're going into the Great Depression, but still, just in the short term, seems like some greens coming back in. So I will be watching some calls. I even saw Boeing today, Mike, had a pretty good pop. So I'll even watch them. They have a pretty big gap to fill here between 157 and 160.
All right, there we go. And then last but not least, we want to give a giant shout out to today's member of the day, Neighbor Jay. You've been in the chat for just under 2 years, and we saw that your activity has been increasing pretty recently. So definitely keep it up. Thanks for being a great member of the community. And guys, don't forget, if you're looking for daily options day trades, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. It's definitely worth trying out at least for 1 month. It's pretty awesome. And besides that, let's end the week strong.